Say hi, Benson. Benson is scared of the water, so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the video here. It was way too windy for us to continue our talk outside. And Benson does not like the water. So we're back and I'm under my heated blanket. Even though it's a really gorgeous day in Scotland, there's just something about a heated blanket and a cup of tea. Too good, too good. But this has been a very eventful week. We're seeing headlines that we've never seen before. You know, royals are getting arrested on their birthdays. Everything is coming into the light. And I am a bit agitated with seeing these takes online that they're gonna get away with it. And no one's holding them accountable. And I think it's just, we really need to ask ourselves what we want justice to look like in 2026 and moving forward. What is our idea of justice, both on a personal level and a collective level? Because if we really think about what justice is, what true justice looks like, then we cannot expect for the same systems that enable people like Royal Andrew Mountbatten. I'm trying to respect the fact that they took away his title, but he's still part of the royal family, and there's no way that no other members didn't know about what was going on. So he was shielded by the institution, just like how multitudes of politicians around the world are shielded by their governments. A lot of them are corrupt. What gets lost in these discussions is the fact that we, the people as a collective, have outsourced so much of our power to where we wait for the system to deliver justice. So my question this week that I have been noodling on is, what does justice look like in 2026? Again, both on the individual level and on the collective level. Knowing what I know about systems of oppression and how intertwined they all are and how they operate. Justice for me on a personal level looks like living a life where I'm not overworking myself. I have my material needs met and I'm not overworking. I'm not straining my body in order to get the things that I need to survive. I'm deprogramming from the very belief systems that keep this all intact. That's true justice, because say Royal Andrew Mountbatten does get some sort of sentence for misconduct while he held a public office. Say he does get held accountable for trading secrets while he was some, I guess, envoy. I can't remember his exact title. Even if he were to face jail time, the system is still intact. The system that enabled the harm still exists. Because we, on a personal level, have yet to genuinely define for ourselves and shift the way that we live our lives in ways that constitute justice. So my question is, What are we doing on the personal level to shift into a just world? What are we doing on the personal level to dismantle systems of oppression that enable the harm in the first place? What on a daily basis do we do that feels like justice to us, that constitutes that justice, that definition of justice that we have? And the justice is going to have to include dismantling the systems that keep all of this together. It's more than just a couple evil people, a couple horrible men. There are tons of women who abuse children as revealed by the files. It brings me to another question. And the question is, how do we genuinely expect for a system to hold abusers accountable when we on personal levels are not holding abusers in our lives accountable? Do you know how many families allow abusers to continue to maintain contact with abusers within the family, allow said abusers to have access to children to continue to abuse? How many families has that happened in? Is that happening in? Because we on a personal level have yet to start instituting the type of justice that we say we expect from the system. We have not started to integrate said justice into our own relationships. And until we do that, all of this stuff continues. All of it sticks together. We are the glue that creates, that keeps systems of oppression together. Yes, white supremacy as a system, which has, again, many isms, was violently installed. We can see that from history. We know that. But we, at some point, have to confront the fact that we keep those systems of oppression intact through how we relate to one another, how we communicate with one another, how every single level we keep these systems of oppression together. Until we can genuinely confront that, instead of looking at constantly outsourcing our power. Oh, that person, oh, that, oh. The system is a reflection of who we are. The system is a reflection of our the dynamics that we engage in on a daily basis. Why is it in families, in most families, I feel confident saying that, why is it that we have so easily accepted this idea that a person who does harm, we have to excuse their behavior because they're family, because they're whatever, proximity we have to, they're my boss, they're my teacher. I have to just deal with the abuse that they are giving me, the abuse that they're doing to others. I have to be a bystander to it. I can't say anything about it. Why? And then how do we then allow and enable abuse to happen within relationships that we have proximity to, but then look at a system and say, oh, someone better do something about it. Someone better do it. They're gonna get away with it. Yeah, because we've allowed the people who we actually can hold accountable to not be held accountable. So why wouldn't we not allow for people that we have no proximity to, who are some of the most powerful people? I mean, they're really extractors, but how is it that we think that it's any different? we're not asking ourselves the right questions. We're really not. When it comes to justice, we have to be asking ourselves, what does justice look and feel like for me in my own life? How am I committed to justice actively? When was the last time that I helped someone with proximity to me to receive justice? How am I living my life in a way that changes the system, that dismantles systems of oppression so that true justice can be realized? Systemic justice can be realized. How am I changing myself in order to help us as a collective to get there? Until we actually start to shift things and look in the mirror and have hard conversations with ourselves and have hard conversations with other people and create boundaries, until we end certain relationships with relatives who have been abusive, we are not going to have systemic justice. There will not be a system of justice that actually it may give a performance of justice. That's all I'm seeing. There's tons of performances of justice right now. But true justice, when there's justice in your homes, when there's justice within you as a person, then there can be justice outside. Then there can be justice in the system. Then children will no longer be abused, trafficked, harmed every single day. We have to stop expecting that one arrest or that there's a court that can currently hold abusers accountable. We see all the time how often abusers get away with things because we ourselves are complicit in abuse as a collective. We let stuff slide way too often. That's why we're here. Justice feels like listening to what my soul tells me I need instead of what society has programmed me to believe that I need, who I need to be, what I need to be doing, what I need to look like, who I need to surround myself with. My soul tells me that. Every single time that my gut has told me something and I've gone against it, I have had to deal with the consequences of not listening to my gut. So my soul, now me and my soul, we're like this. You tell me something, I'm listening. You tell me that this person is unsafe by maybe I have a physiological reaction. Maybe I'm really anxious around this person. Maybe I leave every interaction with this person feeling drained. I don't need to know anything else. They don't even need to say anything else. If I will go off of my feeling. That is justice. Being able to trust what my soul is telling me, what my body is telling me. That's justice. We're constantly being told to not trust what we feel, to listen to the programming that we need to be bigger, better, stronger, faster, all of the things in that Daft Punk song. Justice is deprogramming. Justice is living a life that you can be proud of with no harm, with harm to none, as little harm as possible. Can we completely opt out of the system? No. Are we going to do harm in some ways? Yes. Can we be accountable for that? Absolutely. And it all starts with asking ourselves the simple question, what does justice look like for me? What do I want justice to look like for the collective? How am I changing myself to enable there to be more justice, systemic justice? Those are the questions that actually help to get us justice in 2026.